Hi, the Islamic Dad here. If you enjoy this channel, please subscribe. It does help me out. I am doing a video on emotional disengagement as a way to handle the trauma bond. I guess the best way to explain it would be, for me personally, one of the issues I ran into is that when I was really trapped in the trauma bond, the logical part of my brain was just completely off. And the only thing that I was basically thinking was just, these emotional moments in the relationship or just feelings themselves. And, and that makes it difficult to get over because there's nothing you can really like grab, put your hands on. And, after thinking about it for some time, I thought that it might be helpful to just make a conscious effort to say, okay, I need to separate the emotional part of my, experiences in my brain from the logical parts of my brain and all more factual parts. And so I know for myself with my, ex from about 2 years ago, that I can very, easily, when I just focus on the logical part, say, okay, at best there was some shenanigans going on behind my back. What and to what extent, I don't necessarily know, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And the last year of the relationship was unbearable. Year 3 was bad, but doable. Year 4 was absolutely unbearable. It was just awful. And, I've done many videos on just like, canceling plans at the last minute, the ridiculous fights, sabotaging this, sabotaging that. Basically, as I said, when I finally ended things, that she was like the worst girlfriend ever. I don't know how else to explain it, which is so ironic to go from like the love bombing phase of being like, oh my God, I can't believe that you actually exist. This is amazing. To 4 years later being, you know what? You're the worst. You're the worst girlfriend I've ever had in my life, and I'm done. I am out of here. So, but just, all these like very factual aspects of how the relationship and her and, was demonstrably horrible, just awful. And so when I remove the emotional aspect and just focus on these like, very, specific points and, approach things from the logical side of my mind, it's much easier to say, okay, you know what? She was abusive and the abuse kind of started early on, but I didn't really catch it or notice it. And it's like boiling a frog. And so by the time I ended the relationship, that water was boiling well and I was being cooked alive. And that, all the different aspects of the abuse, that's very factual. I mean, that's just something that I can, again, the logical part of my brain can go, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Why would I want to be with this person ever again? Why would I feel warmly towards this person ever again? And I mean, again, this kind of overlaps with, some videos I've made earlier on dealing with the trauma bond. And of course, probably lots of things that, other people have said about dealing with the trauma bond where, honestly, the easiest is just get a notebook and a pen or a pencil and just write down every horrible thing the narcissist did. And yeah, you might get a drink, maybe get some chips. You're going to be there for a while and just write page after page after page after page of all the horrible things they did to you. And I don't mean like, oh, you know, it hurt my feelings. I mean, no, I mean like they were abusive. They, you know, canceled plans that we had made a month in advance, and I lost $500, you know, because of that, and, you know, just et cetera, et cetera. And just make that list so that when, I mean, and I think by the time you get to the end, you're going to be a lot clearer as far as like where you are with respect to the narcissist and the trauma bond. But also, if you ever start feeling like, oh, I missed them, you can get out the notebook and just, you know, get that quick reminder and be like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I can't believe that I even contemplated being with this person. So again, I think it's a very simple exercise, but just to separate the emotional aspect of what you feel during, or I should say felt during the relationship, especially the love bombing phase, versus the logic and facts of what happened and how they treated you. And let's be blunt, let's be honest, how they abused you. So hopefully this video has been helpful. Thanks.